13?
You're ridiculous.
Sorry.
It's okay. Hello, everyone. It is Wednesday, December 6th, and welcome to What's in the Bag with your hosts, Austin and Jonathan. So a question you may be having is what's in the bag? That's a very fair question. This is our first episode of our podcast, so the first thing we should do is kind of introduce what our podcast is, who we are, and what this whole thing's going to be about. So I'll start with myself. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Jonathan. I am 20 years old. I go to Wake Forest University. I've been playing golf since I was 13. I'm a single-digit handicapper, and I've been an avid golf fan ever since my dad got me in the game when I was around 13 years old, like I said.
I'm Austin, the other host. I am 23. Played some club golf in college, also a single-digit handicapper. Me and Jonathan grew up playing golf together. And we're both just avid golf fans, and this podcast is just going to be all things golf.
Yeah, we know there's a few other podcasts in the market, but we thought we'd put our name out there. We're going to try our best, see what really comes of this. Like I said, we have great chemistry together on the golf course. We've been playing together forever. I'm sure all of you guys have your foursomes that you've been playing with since you were kids, and that's me and Austin are two of our foursome. So we're going to try to get that energy from the golf fairways onto the podcast streets. So
like we said, we're just starting out. So if you guys have any feedback for us, we'd love to hear back from you. There'll be an email in the description below. Feel free to shoot us some of your feedback.
Yeah, that would be great. So I'm sure as the whole golf world is talking about Austin, there's really only one story we can start with today, and that is Tiger Woods.
Charlie Hoffman.
Yeah. Oh.
No.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's okay, dude. So other than Charlie Hoffman, who led the weekend
12 birdies in his first round.
Really,
he's could talk about that.
He's hitting it well. We're going to talk about Tiger Woods first. He returned at his own tournaments after teasing us for weeks with his own version of golf porn, these little slow-mo Instagram videos where he's hitting these stingers and everyone's just, getting hot and heavy in their beds to Tiger videos on Instagram. But let's start off with it. So I thought a good way of doing this is let's just break it down, going from his long game down to his putter, and talk about each thing individually.
Yeah, I think maybe the most impressive part of his game to me was his driving this week. I mean, he was at it. He was going at it, right? He was generating some speed. He had the ball speed up with the longest guys on tour. I mean, he was carrying it 300 easily, and it was nice to see him being able to have that much motion right after this surgery and coming back,
It was truly unbelievable.
Yeah.
What I thought was the most impressive is they showed this graphic of his ball speed was up over 180, and on the tour, it showed about 8 names that hadn't hit a drive over 180 this season. I think
a lot of
was on that
very good
list.
players. Yeah.
It was really unbelievable, just showing how Tiger took, I think, 301 days off of competitive golf, back fusion surgery that most people have in their 50s, and is still hitting it farther than some of the longest guys on tour.
And I think we saw him being able to turn a lot more freely than we've seen in the past, right? Like you stopped being worried about him getting hurt by Sunday, I thought, which was
unbelievable.
Amazing, right?
I mean, these last 2 comebacks, all I've been waiting for is him to hit a bad shot and grab the back.
There's no wince. Yeah,
no wince. He's
wince.
Really swinging through the ball, and like he said, when they're breaking it down in the slow mo, he's not getting stuck. He's really hitting that nice little power cut that he's hit almost his whole career. And I think it's a sustainable swing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if his last 2 comebacks were sustainable, but this looks like a swing that he could really compete on for 10 or 15 years.
Yeah, I agree. So let's move on. Maybe talk about his iron game, the mid-range game.
Yeah, I think his iron game was a little more rusty than his driving game. It sounded like, just from what he was hitting it, he hit some great iron shots. He hit some really, really nice ones. And he also from about 100 yards, he wasn't hitting it great. He hit some really close, but he also struggled with his distance control at times, struggled with flighting the ball against the wind at times, and wasn't quite the same Tiger that we are used to with his irons.
Yeah, I think we really saw that on Saturday with the wind when it picked up.
Mm-hmm.
We saw obviously played his worst round of the week, but he was really struggling with dealing with different flights and trajectories and just controlling the ball in the wind. But I mean, that's to be expected.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'd say still exceeded what I was expecting. Just to see him play 72 holes was amazing.
Yeah.
I think that there's definitely still work to do. He did hit some good wedges, though.
Yeah, no, he did. I think the best part about this for me is that I think the long game that's gone. If you're not seeing that, I don't know if you'll ever get that back. But in iron game, I think that's just a matter of practice. That's hours on the range, being able to see, okay, this is when I'm going to hit my little knockdown 9 iron here instead of my 8 iron up into the wind, right? That's just a matter of practice hours with the swing coach, with his caddy, getting that down. Doable to me than having to repeat a driver swing where it might just not ever be there again.
Definitely.
So that's a very, very
Definitely.
good sign in my opinion.
Great sign.
Yeah. I think if he just again works on those different flights, those different trajectories, I think he'd be able to dial in his iron distance like the old Tiger if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so moving on to short game.
Probably the most troubling aspect of the week.
I think that it was interesting to me to see the bad shots he hit on the first day and to see how much better it got through the week. And I think that honestly was so telltale, like vintage Tiger, right? You take something and like in a little sample, right? But you take something that you're struggling with and you just practice with it and get better. Because I heard he was out, late on the range hitting chips and stuff. So, it's nice to see through all of the adversity and stuff, he still has the mindset of, if something's not working, I'm gonna get out there, practice, and make it better.
Yeah,
and he hit some lot better shot. Like his feel around the greens got a lot better.
I think around 16 on Sunday when all the announcers saying, "Oh, this chip is extremely difficult." The swell, and having to yips those first couple of days, I don't really know what I expected. And then he hits it to about a couple feet and stays par. I think that was really impressive. I think that was when he hit it short by the bunker, like just over the water on the par 3, and then chipped it up really close and made a nice par.
Great,
So that was a really good par. I think it's similar to the irons. I think that if he works on that, gets on the range and mentally, because chipping is, as you know, can sometimes be a really, really mental kind of thing. I think he could really just, again, go back to the Tiger of old with those chips, and that's another area. His iron and his short game is just an area where he always has dominated the field.
Yeah. The scrambling for par that he would do back in the day.
Just unbelievable pars that would just, even get you off your couch, fist bumping and being so excited about it. So, I mean, there's definitely a real chance that could come back. It was really nice to see, like you said, the progression. He wasn't really hitting those chunked chips out of the Bermuda grass that he was earlier in the week.
Yeah, which was great to see the progress. It was really great. Even just 2 days, right? Which is awesome.
Yeah, it was really excellent. And then, so our final thing, we're going to move down to his putting, which started off the week really good. I mean, it looked incredible on Thursday and Friday. I think it really looked incredible pretty much. He struggled a little bit with
10 feet and in was great.
Yeah.
10 feet and in, the stroke looks great, like way better than I thought it would. Like he made a bunch of putts in that range, I would say, and like all of those putts looked like they were going to go in.
Yep.
But yeah, he hit some funky longer ones, but again, that's just rust, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Super weird. And I think they were a lot, like you saw some of the other players struggling as well with the speed of the green. So not going to put too much stock into that. Just honestly nice to see him back, making some birdies. Like that was fun. The eagle that he made.
That was awesome.
Sunday gave me chills, right?
Yeah, that was great.
Throwback to the days of greatness, right?
Oh, yeah. I do want to talk about one thing, though. So he missed, obviously, the short one on 18, which, isn't probably big in the swing of things, but I think the last time that I ever had any real inkling of whether Tiger was back or not was, I think this was the 2013 Masters. I think it's Sunday. He's a few shots back, 5 feet for eagle, and the crowd goes wild, and then he whips out, right? And that just kind of gave me a little bit of war flashbacks of that. I just don't feel if the old Tiger ever misses that putt in 2013. I don't know if the old Tiger ever misses this putt on 18. So I don't know. It could be nothing, but that little miss just gives me a little like, oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, I agree, but I think it's too early to make, like you said, small point. We'll see if it really plays out.
No, I agree.
But I think that sort of segments us to talking about maybe the broader implications of what it means for him to be back for golf. I mean, obviously, whether he's playing or not, he's the figurehead for the sport.
Yeah.
And whether that's a good thing or not is a conversation for maybe another time.
Yeah.
But, we've got all of these rising stars coming up. Like, there's just an absolute plethora of these guys who are amazing. I've been able to sort of seize the helm from him, and now he's back. So it's going to be interesting to see. They talked about Justin Thomas playing his first competitive round with Tiger and, like, grew up watching Tiger and now is at the forefront of the game.
Probably had the best season ever last year. Best season of any player. Sorry.
Right. He had one of the best seasons of any player since Tiger.
Right. Yeah.
And
5 wins in a major.
Now you get to see them play together. It's awesome.
It's really awesome. And again, that would be the question: could Tiger keep up with the young guns of this generation? And it looked like he put a resounding yes in that category. Again, really, we're going to talk about the implications that this has for golf if Tiger can play like this. It meant the return of everyone's favorite Twitter account. Do you follow Golf Channel Tiger Tracker on Twitter?
Oh, yeah, he was back.
Such a great, it's great to see when Tiger Tracker's tweeting. I'm sure all you golf fans know you're refreshing your phones if you can't watch, seeing those little updates from him. But it's really great. I think you mentioned this to me earlier, that even when Tiger's not playing, he's still the most talked about golfer, which is just so wild to think about what he means to the game of golf, how much money he generates, just his name being in the conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say it's 100% increase in revenue.
Yeah, I'm wondering if, to some extent, some of the upcoming stars sort of resent that,
Yeah,
like,
no, it's true.
You got to look at, like, a Spieth or a Thomas, right? Or even DJ, right?
Yeah.
But just to be constantly compared to this guy who hasn't played in the last 5 years, right? He hasn't played anything competitively for the last 5 years, and to always be in that shadow, I get the feeling that a lot of them are licking their chops right now to get out there and kick his ass, right?
Which I think that's really good
amazing,
for golf.
yeah.
It's kind of unbelievable, no matter how good of a season Thomas, Johnson, Fowler, any of these guys have, it's just not going to move the meter as much as it is for Tiger. Like, me and you were texting in our golf group chat the other day, and we were just like, I'm so excited to watch Tiger on a random Saturday of the Hero World Challenge with 18 players in December. And we were being like, oh my God, I can't just wait to sit on my couch and watch golf. And even other sports members of the sports media watch the tournament this week because of Tiger.
Yeah, and I mean, I wasn't even that excited to watch, like, the playoffs or probably any of the majors, right? Like, but there's just so much hype around
It's
it.
just
Like, you get
unbelievable.
so many other athletes tuning in through Twitter and all of the other social media streams where, wishing him luck. But there's just so much more attention. There's so much more buzz. And again, like you said, this isn't even a tournament.
Yeah,
it's like an exhibition.
Crazy. It's crazy. And again, I think this segues us well into our next topic, which is still about Tiger. We have other topics coming later, I promise. But do you think this is sustainable? Looking at his swing before, it did not seem sustainable. It seemed, not a repeatable swing that he could do. But, us, we're good golfers ourselves. We have a decent idea of good swings and stuff like that. And do you think that current health, the current swing, what you saw, I know it's 4 days, it's only 72 holes. Do you think it is sustainable for 5 to 10 years of competitive golf on tour?
I really hope so. And I mean, I honestly am pretty optimistic about it. When he came back in previous comebacks, he never looked as healthy or as free as he looked this week. And I mean, he talked about the feeling out process of not knowing exactly like what he was going to be able to do. But like, as he kept going at it, he realized that like his body was pretty capable. And basically, from what I understand of the surgery, it'd be very hard for him to re-aggravate his back in that sense. So, I mean, 4 days, you never know. Probably shouldn't put too much faith into it, but it would be amazing. And honestly, I'm really optimistic. It was awesome to see him, right? And he was crushing it.
It was
great.
I
don't know. What do you think?
I also think that it sure looked like this is going to be sustainable, and if not, return to the Diamond Tiger, which nobody expects. Nobody expects that. A return to someone who will come close to winning once a year, something like that. A few tournaments a year where he will be in the top 10 of the leaderboard, if not more, and hopefully really contending at majors, which is what we all want to see.
Yeah.
Maybe not breaking Nicklaus's record, although I can't put it out of the question, which is, I know it's 72 holes, but at least one more Augusta seems doable. One more win at the Masters seems pretty doable for me. And now our final Tiger topic is, well, what happens if he's just a mediocre golfer? What happens if he's a grinder now? What happens if he's your middle of the pack? Like, what happens if he turns into Rocco? He turns into Rocco, who had, I think, 2 wins on tour, contended in 1 major in his whole career. What does that mean for the game if Tiger becomes this mid-level grinder who's not ever really at the top of the leaderboard fighting to make cuts?
I mean, I think that, in a sense, golf will finally move on from him if that happens, which is going to be totally crazy to see. I mean, it almost feels like moving on from, like, Jordan, right? In basketball, and you move on to...
It has to happen.
Next superstar comes up, but, I mean, it's just so different because he's been around for so long, I think. But at some point, I think that with him being mediocre, we would see sort of a move towards the new forefront. I mean, there are faces for golf. There's so many good young players right now that needs to happen is for Tiger to contend for that move. That honestly, I seeing his mental, the way that he like plans himself around a golf course. I think that if he's healthy, he's going to compete.
I think he has to as well. He can keep up with the big boys.
Good. He's
so
so
good.
talented.
Yeah.
Like
I agree.
even in this small sample, you saw what made him so great for so many years.
Yeah.
Right. Like he misses in all of the right places. He's always, if he misses a green, he's always on the right side. He always has his course management is so much better. Than the younger guys out there right now.
You especially see that with players like Jason Day, who have been struggling with their course management over the last year. Yeah,
definitely.
I think you're right that Tiger's mental game is so strong that you just imagine that if he stays healthy, he has to compete.
Yeah.
So, again, we're about 20 minutes into the podcast, and we haven't even talked about Ricky Fowler, who added just an incredible round to win this tournament. So let's start off with Ricky.
Effect, right?
It's the Tiger
have a guy
effect.
Shoots 61 on Sunday to win the tournament, and you don't talk about
it's
him
unbelievable.
At all, but it's crazy.
So Ricky is my second favorite golfer behind Tiger, and I've been rooting for him pretty heavy these last few years without Tiger. And man, this was unbelievable. 7 straight birdies, 8 on the front 9, goes out in 28, ends up shooting 61 for 1 or 2 shot victory, I believe, and looked great. Really looked great, and from Ricky Fowler over the last 3 years. But we've seen this before. His Players victory, where he had 6 under coming in, and it has to be Ricky Fowler's year to win a major.
I think that right now he's probably the most. He has the most dynamic in golf. I think you agree with that, right? Like, I think Ricky can probably go all of the tools in there, like we saw. I mean, everywhere. Pull out from the bunker. The game is great.
Number one,
and his putting stroke right now looks like the freest putting stroke I've seen on tour. I mean, he's confident and aggressive. Like he's hitting. He hits all of his putts 4 feet. So doesn't care.
He knows rams it in there. He knows he's going to ram it in there.
Right. Which is.
And just the improvement. If you saw the stats, I believe he was somewhere around over 100th on tour in the putting stats 2 years ago, and last year improved to in the top 20 in almost all of them. It's really unbelievable. His swing change, working with Butch, right? His putting strokes improvement, just his dedication to the game. And also, there's this dynamic of 2 of his best friends, Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas, have won the major. They've broken through, and Ricky hasn't.
Considerably younger. You got to imagine that there's some good-natured teasing going on there, and I don't think that Ricky likes that too much.
No, Ricky.
I'm sure that is not. I'm sure that gets under his skin.
Yeah. If you saw this little thing after in the post-game, post-round interview, Ricky kind of Spieth comes by, looks at him, sticks his arm up in the air in victory, and Ricky kind of does the same thing, and they high-five. It's pretty nice to see, but it's also, you imagine Ricky just being like, oh, we do this at a major, and I'm the one behind the microphone, and Jordan's the one giving me the high-five instead of the opposite, like it was last season.
Exactly. So, I mean, I think big things from him this season.
I agree.
I think another guy who's super impressive was Charlie Hoffman.
Right.
Big things from him again this season.
No one ever talks about this guy, Charlie Hoffman.
Radar,
it's unbelievable.
Oh my goodness.
He led the tour in birdies last season. I think if you polled maybe 1,000 pretty solid golf fans, how many of them do you think would say Charlie Hoffman led, and not knowing the stat, how many of them do you think would think Charlie Hoffman led the tour in birdies last year? No one.
Right, and you look at some of his numbers, and
they're great.
They're unbelievable. They're so much better than you'd think, and he's not the longest hitter. He's not the most impressive guy. Like, he's sort of goes about his own business. He doesn't have too much of a media presence, I would say, because it's dominated by the young guys and then Tiger coming back, obviously. But this guy has some crazy game. 12 birdies in the first round is unbelievable. It's really for all of the amateur golfers out there, could you imagine making 12 birdies in a round? How many rounds do you think it takes to make 12 birdies? I was talking with John about this. Probably takes me 10 to 15 rounds. To make 12 birdies.
I get happy in a round when I have
one or two.
I strive for one birdie, and when you have over 2 birdies, that's just awesome. And I mean, if you look at his results in 2017, won over $4 million, 14 top 25s, 7 top 10s, didn't get the win, did have a win in 2016 though, and he was one of, I think, 10 to 15 golfers to have made the FedEx Cup playoffs for the last 7 years. So it's unbelievable at all this stuff. He led the league led the tour in birdies. Like I said, he was 15th in strokes gained off the tee, and he was almost top 50 in every strokes gained stat except for around the green, and 36 in strokes gained
unbelievable
total.
ball striker. I think he has to learn how to win and also get rid of the blow pull, because he has a few of those. Like he's a guy who makes 6 birdies in a row and a triple. But he's similar to Ricky in that way, where they can both just make slews of birdies.
Yeah, just
but they do it in very different ways.
Yeah. But like I said, I think Charlie Hoffman's just a really underrated golfer, and I wouldn't be surprised if he again has a really good season. Like I said, FedEx Cup playoffs, he's been there for the last 10 years, so there's no reason to think that he won't be there again. And I'm not sure if he'll win a major, but I'd say he'll win. And again, he's been on form for the last year, so I can definitely see him having a great breakout year.
Definitely. Yeah. So I think for our last segment, we'll do should we do the sorry. We need to cut this part out.
Yeah, we'll cut this part. So we'll go to our final segment here. This is a segment that we're gonna call 59 Watch. And so players on tour, it's rare, but they strive to hit that 59, that excellent round where they're 13 or so under. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make some absurd parlays and try to hit it big time. There's no tournament this week,
put
so
some free money in your pockets.
Yeah,
guys.
we're gonna give you the money, and
we're saying these are locks, but I'd be very surprised if you didn't win.
If you don't win this, guys, feel free, email us, and we'll hopefully get you a refund. I will send you a refund. Money. Yeah, I will Venmo you. Send us your Venmos, guys. Our Venmos are open, and we'll send you Venmo right over to you. But okay, so let's start with our major predictions for next year.
We're going to preface this by saying these are way too early. Way too early. Major predictions.
So we got the Masters. Dustin Johnson is the favorite at plus 700, and the last guy on tour is Sandy Lyle, has the best odds at plus 200,000, guys. So that if you want some value for your money, Sandy Lyle plus 200,000 or Marco Mira at plus 100,000 seem pretty good to me. Okay, actually, Austin, though, who are you going to pick for the Masters? Talk to me.
So, why? I think as far as the person who I think has the best chance to actually win, I think you've got to look at Jordan Spieth. I think that he plays so well there. His putting is so good, and at it this week, but it's his mid-range putting that's great. And I think at Augusta, you just run into so many of those, and he consistently makes the most on tour.
Yep, by 20, 30 footers.
Huge margin. And you know what? I mean, he knows the course really well. Obviously, I think he's still has the chip on his shoulder. I just see him coming out with the green jacket.
Yeah, no, I mean,
what about you?
I wouldn't be surprised at all. In terms of who I think has the best chance to win, I'm pretty torn between Ricky Fowler and Hideki, just because Hideki's ball striking is so great. I always see his game being a pretty good fit for Augusta, but I just don't know. I'm pretty sure he was tied for the lead on Sunday in the PGA, I believe.
I don't know if he's ready to win a major yet.
I agree with you.
I think that I'm leaning towards Ricky on that
I think
Ricky,
I'd pick Ricky.
Plus 1,600 has some pretty great odds.
And then you got Tiger before this week. Good on you, because I think he was a lot better now, but now he's in the top 12, I think, of odds. He's in the top 9 of odds at plus 1,800. So I don't know if I'd bet him, because that's not getting great value. But let's just say our fingers are crossed for Tiger, and we'd love for him to win.
Definitely.
Not good value for your money, though.
A guy, maybe we can pick one.
Let's do a sleeper for each one, too. Go ahead. Yeah.
Sleeper. So my sleeper for the Masters would be Tony Finau.
Oh, I love Tony Finau's game.
Great.
Love Tony Finau's
played great at the end of last season.
Such a free swing. Really hits it well.
Plus 12,500. That's
pretty good. No, for me, my sleeper down there is going to be Matthew Fitzpatrick. He hasn't been doing a lot of stuff, but he's a great swing. We actually are from Boston, and you were at the USAM for a few days, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we saw the USAM in 2013 when Fitzpatrick took down Oliver Goss. Really, really fun match at this course that is a beautiful course called the Country Club.
Might have heard it.
Might have heard of it. The Ryder Cup might have been there in 1999. Not saying that I got to play high school golf there, but I got to play high school golf there. And I love Matthew Fitzpatrick's game, and I think it works well on the Masters. I'm pretty sure he was the low am there a few years ago. So Matthew Fitzpatrick will be my sleeper there.
Yep.
Okay, let's move on to the U.S. Open, where Dustin Johnson is the favorite again. So I'm going to start off this time. The U.S. Open, where is it this year?
I'm not sure.
I'm actually not
All right,
sure
we should pause
either.
We can cut this part.
Yeah, we'll cut this. Okay. Yeah, look it up.
So we got a couple things to cut.
So good right now, though. Shinnecock. Okay.
Wait, I don't know anything about Shinnecock. Let's just look up.
Yeah.
Last US Open.
Thanks. How long is it?
2014.
Retief Goosen and Mickelson won up, and it was played pretty hard.
Wait, 2014 US Open. Let's look at the leaderboard. 2004 US Open.
Okay, I know who I'm gonna pick.
I just want to see what the scores are like.
It's like my score.
Yeah. So, but like, there are 2 people in the car.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So, let's move on now to the U.S. Open. Dustin Johnson's favorite once again at plus 900. So it's at Shinnecock this year. Very difficult course last year. There's only like 2 or 3 people under par. The last time it was played there, not last year. So
2004.
2004. So I'm gonna look at this, and I'm Justin Rose. Justin Rose is one of the hottest players on tour, basically in the world right now. So I think that pretty well. He's a great ball striker, and I think that his game is going to be molded pretty well to this course. And just because of really how well he's been playing recently, that I think he might come out with a win and pretty good value at plus 2,500.
Can't disagree with that, but I think I'm going to take somebody a little bit different. I think I'm going to go with Patrick Reed here.
I was thinking about Patrick Reed.
I think that, the U.S. Open always requires a super sort of balanced game, right? I think Reed has one of the most balanced games of anybody on tour.
Yep.
And he's got a great short game.
And he's clutch. I mean, like,
he does have.
I don't know how much you can quantify clutch in golf. It's a lot harder than other sports where you can, say, play in the fourth quarter.
He gets up for the big events.
Loves it.
He loves the big events.
Loves it.
Loves the spotlight, and I could definitely see him coming through here. So
I agree.
Yeah. Should we do sleepers?
Yeah. So I'll start off with my sleeper. I'm going to go with Kevin Kisner. I'm not sure if Kevin Kisner is ready to win a big event like this, but he has a good game. He really keeps it.
I don't know if that counts as a sleeper yet, though. He's been so good. But yeah,
he's plus 7,500. He's plus 7,500. I think we can go. I think we can count as sleeper. He's been really good, and he really doesn't make the big mistakes. And I think in the U.S. Open, the big mistakes really kill you, especially in a course where if a score like -3, -4 is going to win.
Definitely.
You can't take the guy who just puts it in play every time and gives himself a chance to hit fairways and greens. So that's my sleeper.
I'm gonna take a very similar player. He's a lefty, though. I'm going to take Brian Harman here.
Brian Harman.
Just because I like him a lot.
Yeah.
And that's basically it.
Watching him celebrate his win with that walk-off putt last year was so hilarious. He's just this little man celebrating so hard.
I think he's 5'5".
Yeah.
Hits the ball about 250 on a good day. But, I mean, he's a grinder. He's a scrambler. He's got a great short game.
Yeah.
And he can putt. I mean,
he can putt.
Definitely showed that in that win,
He can putt. Yeah.
He's a great putter, and if the putter gets hot, who knows what happens to the U.S. Open? Especially if all you need to do is shoot a couple under.
Yeah,
we'll see. Move on to the British Open.
So let's move on to the British Open, where the favorite changes from Dustin Johnson to Jordan Spieth. I'll just here and look up the British Open again.
Sounds good.
No, I'm just gonna export this to Premiere and cut this. It's totally fine.
Yeah. No, it's a good learning thing. Carnoustie.
Oh, fuck, I know nothing. Just look up when's the last time I was here.
Test.
I was thinking about going John Rahm. But we'll see about how linksy this course is. Just go to Wikipedia, yeah. Fuck that. Key Wikipedia.
Open. 2007, no potty.
-7-1. Okay. Yeah, it's a long. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so let's move on now to the British Open. The favorite changes from Dustin Johnson to Jordan Spieth. Dustin Johnson is third, and the British Open is at Carnoustie for the first time in about 10 or 11 years. Padraig Harrington won last time, I believe, 2007.
Yep.
And Bomber, obviously. So I'm gonna go with John Rahm. I love John Rahm's game. The kid hits it a mile. Padraig Harrington. Obviously, length translates at this golf course if Harrington won last time. And I think it's a little less linksy, a little less demanding than some of the other courses out there in the British Open. And I think Jon Rahm's game is well suited for this. If he can just keep it in play. The only problem with Jon Rahm is obviously his mental fortitude, his mental strength isn't quite on par with some of the other members on tour yet.
Yeah, he's not as polished.
He's young. He's younger. But I think if he can have a good week, especially if he has a good Thursday, Friday, I see no reason for him to not contend.
I sort of see him as in the same boat as Patrick Reed, where, I think they're not quite ready to be on the level of the superstars.
Yeah.
But they definitely have the potential to get there.
Okay. And
so we'll see. I mean, definitely.
Who do you think for the British?
I think I'm going to go with DJ here. Okay. Feels wrong to not take him for at least one of the majors. And on the open style links golf, I think that his straight power is going to overpower this golf course. He's going to be able to probably, cut off corners that other guys can't, take advantage of, all the crazy run that you get out there. We'll see him pull this one out. Interesting to see that his odds change here and he becomes not the favorite.
Right. And then hopefully, though, he gets a lead and chokes, because one of my favorite texts to send in our group text is DJ Choke City. When DJ has a major lead and is blowing it, that's the equivalent to Tony Romo Twitter in the fourth quarter when Twitter's going off and Romo's throwing interceptions or Philip Rivers throwing interceptions in the fourth quarter. Nothing like DJ collapsing on Sunday. I think he lost the WGC 6-stroke lead, I believe, tying the largest ever lead blown on Sunday.
He had a tough day.
Tough day. So DJ Choke City.
DJ does have those
great
tough
text.
days.
Great text. One of my favorite texts to send. And now let's look up where the PGA is.
Underdog.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'll cut that part too.
And our underdogs. Yeah.
So now let's go to our underdogs for the British, our sleeper picks. Let's look down. You know what? I'm gonna go. We talked about Charlie Hoffman earlier. I'm going to go with Charlie Hoffman.
I think that's a great pick.
Great pick. He can really get hot, and if he gets hot on one of these days, I could see him having a huge Friday or Saturday and charging up the leaderboard, plus 12,500. So, again, pretty good value for your money there, and especially if he's getting off a good season, if he has that momentum and he's making all these birdies, if he can minimize the mistakes, there's no reason why he won't contend.
Right. I think I'm going to go with Siwoo Kim here. Got to rep the South Korean Brotherhood, or I don't know, but I'm going to get rid of that.
Okay.
I'll just start. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with Siwoo Kim here. Really like his game. He's South Korean. That's pretty baller.
Just like you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brotherhood.
Pretty good. South Korean golfers tend to be the best.
Just like Y Yang, right? Best player to ever win a major.
I think that's true, actually. Yeah.
No, I think that's a stat.
That's
you can look
true.
it up.
No, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, he's poised for a sort of a break. I mean, a good year last year. Sort of flew under the radar, I think. And his game is definitely not as tight as some of the other guys, but he showed it at the player, like he can win. And also he is not scared to go for it. Do you remember the driver off the deck they hit the players? Rough? That was wild.
That's awesome.
That's not a shot that you see many guys even think about hitting. So
it's pretty cool.
He's raw, he's got a lot of talent, and for the price that you're going to get for him, I think that he's
plus 15,000.
Great pick. Yeah,
pretty good pick.
All right, so
it was just
okay.
Oh, that's 2017. Sorry. Oh God. Yeah, it's at a random course. I don't know anything about.
Where is it?
Bellarive. Do they even have a fucking scorecard? We're just gonna say, let's just do. We know nothing about it. That's the best angle.
PGA.
Dude, it's at. No, it's never. There's no way it's ever had a PGA championship before, dude. Nice part.
Thanks.
Yeah, let's just go fight. Let's go.
Second PGA championship and third major at Belvedere.
How long is it? 75.
75.
Okay.
Wait, let me just find the last.
Past champions, right there.
No, it's right in the field.
Yeah.
We could.
We're not gonna about it.
It
was probably in like 1924.
Past PGA. Probably, but I mean, if it's not, this is the second one.
If it's not coming up, it's probably way old. It's fine.
Give me like
It was 1965.
1992. Nick Price.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Nick Price?
Yeah, I actually don't know who that is.
Jack Nicklaus missed the cut there.
All right, let's just fucking talk about it.
All right.
Okay,
So
it's fine.
Yeah.
So, and now we move on to the final major of the year, the least important major of the year, but still a major. At a Belle Reef Country Club in St. Louis since 19.
Honestly, don't know anything about the golf course, so
nope, don't know anything about
we'll
it.
say things they're not true, but
believe us and
fine.
spend your money on it because
Most of
maybe you'll hit.
The other stuff we say
is true. I see no reason not to pick Justin Thomas here as the favorite. The PGA is usually a course where the bombers and the guys like that can attack, and the guys who can go low. And I've already picked Ricky Fowler, so Justin Thomas. It seems to me that
it seems wrong to not pick him for one of them.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that's a good pick. I think I'm going to take Matt Kuchar here.
Okay,
I think that
it's pretty good value.
he has to break through at some point. He's just so consistent, and I'm not, honestly, he's a great golfer.
Yep.
I'd love to see him win. So
I think everyone would love to see him win a major.
Bias there for sure.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to see him win. All right.
Okay, and
we'll finish up with our favorites.
Our sleeper, you mean? I'm
Underdogs.
gonna go with Webb Simpson. So just a quick little story. Like I said, I go to Wake Forest, and on the first day, guy across the hall who ended up becoming one of my friends was like, "Hey, like, you want to meet Webb Simpson?" I kind of laughed. He's like, "No, he's my cousin. He's in this room." Again, I really didn't believe him, and I walk in, and Webb Simpson is right there. So that was an interesting experience on my first day of college. But he was a really nice guy, and his wife is really hot. Dowd Simpson. Look her up, Dowd Simpson. No, look up Dowd Simpson. Anyways, I like Webb Simpson. Won a major before, plus 12,500, almost down at the bottom of the list. Give it a try. I know nothing about the golf course, so
I'm gonna go with Tommy Fleetwood here.
Oh yeah,
like plus 8,000. He's been playing some great golf. He's an up and comer.
Yeah.
He plays a lot on the European tour, so a lot of people. He hasn't played too many tour events. But game he played in the Hero, he was actually leading after the first. No, that's not true. But he had a great week. He came in the top 5.
Yeah, I'll cut that. We'll cut that part. I'm not gonna cut that part. Okay, and
wait. Should I just do that again? Probably, right?
Yeah, sure. If you want, go ahead. Again. Yeah.
Tommy Fleetwood here. He had a great week at the Hero. He plays a lot of his golf in Europe, but he's been making moves over there, playing really well. Had a bunch of top 10s, and I think he has a great chance to steal sort of the least important major. I think that some of the bigger guys might not care as much.
Okay, that's a little aggressive. They still care.
Kidding. I'm kidding, yeah, but I think that he has a great chance to come out or compete in this one.
So those are your parlays, guys. Well, actually, wait. There's one more for the Ryder Cup, 2018, USA, Europe, or draw. I mean, we have to pick the USA. I don't even think it's a question.
We need to go with the draw here.
You're gonna pick the plus 1,000 draw.
I think so. Yeah.
Get your value for some money, guys. Pick the draw. Pick the draw.
It usually draws.
It usually draws. I'd say almost always. So, but those are your parlays, guys. If you want free money, don't invest in Bitcoin. Invest in this podcast that you've never listened to before and you have no idea who we are.
Those are 59 watch, though.
Those are 59 watch. Yeah. So those are picks. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we're going to be giving it to you hopefully more often and maybe once a week. And we'll see. Again, we'd love some feedback. So any feedback would be great. Hope you enjoyed the show and hope you make some money.
Yeah.
All right. Signing off for now. See ya.
We should come over that.